Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It is Melinda Sweetman with you with a share for Cut to You. I am using this gorgeous Spring Moon cut file, and here is the page that I am creating. So you can see I've made a giant shaker pocket here with the moon from this cut file. I have used 2 sheets of vellum and stuck them down with some liquid glue, leaving one big section open so I can tip all my sequins in there. And I'll be honest, I do this the hard way to start with. I'm using this sequin mix, which is called Boho Chick by SpiegelMom Scraps, and these gold sequins, which I believe are from Coco Vanilla Studio from about a million years ago. And yeah, like I said, I do this the hard way to start with. I'm using my little scoop and scooping it in. I thought this would be easier than anything else. And I mean, it is relatively easy until I do spill sequins everywhere. There you go. I'll fix all those up and I'll jump forward a little bit. So you can see I'm just checking here how full that is. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't added any gold ones yet. I better add those in so that I can make sure they all get mixed around. So I dump a couple of spoons of those in, and then I mix those all around. And then I'm like, right, this is too hard. I'm going to put them all into my little triangle tray. I ended up using that whole bag of sequins from SpiegelMom Scraps. You can see I've dumped those gold ones in there. And I'm just going to dump all of these in here. I have a full-ish, it's reasonably full shaker pocket here. You can see that. But I love it. I love how this looks. I am pairing this, so you can see I've cut my cut file in gold cardstock. The size of my cut file, the size I cut it meant I could cut it on A4 cardstock, which was perfect because I've got some matte gold cardstock here. Once all of my sequins were in and my glue was dry, I ran it through my sewing machine with some gold thread. And I love the way this looks. It's so pretty. So I'm working with the BRT Forever My Always collection, designed by the one and only Fiona Partridge. And you can see here I've got that background paper and I've got all these fussy cut flowers. So I'm going to play with these for a little while. I kind of feel like I've forgotten a bit how to scrapbook. I said that in my last video. It has been a little while. Life has just been hectic. And I do move things around a lot. But I do cut most of that out. But there's still a lot in. I've got, you saw my photo there. It is my son. No, it's not my son's. It's one of my best friend's newborn babies. And it is from a photo shoot that they had done. And I couldn't wait to scrapbook this photo after she sent it to me. It's the sweetest little thing, and I'm so excited for my friend. I have used one of the pattern papers from this collection that has the 6x6 printed patterns on it. I've used the blue, the dark blue there with like the gold and the mixed media and the prettiness on it. And then I've used kind of a blushy, pinky, dusky pink piece as well for the photo mat. And you can see I'm just tucking flowers in around the photo and around the moon. Because it is vellum, you can see straight through it, but it's not super obvious because there is 2 layers of vellum. It is kind of a bit cloudy. The beauty about doing a shaker pocket like this is it doesn't add very much bulk at all to my page. Obviously it does add some bulk, but not heaps. Not the same as what you would get if you were making, say, a shaker card with the foam tape. And I really love how this came together in the end. Such a beautiful cut file, and it just works so beautifully as a shaker here. I'm kind of a bit like, oh, it's so pretty. So I'm, like I said, I'm just playing with the layers here, adding in flowers and leaves, just making sure I'm happy with the placement. And I'm gonna go through and stick my cut file to my flowers so that I can move that all of that stuff that's on top of my background as one piece. So you can see I'm just adding a little dab of glue and pressing my cut file down. I'm going to go all the way around and do that. And then I can lift the whole thing off. Did stick a little bit there, but it's all good. It's going to be covered up. and I'm going to add some splatters. Now, I did leave this in. This is a very good lesson. Learn from my mistake. Make sure you wash your paintbrushes before you put them away. That was a pot of gold paint. As you can see, it is no longer gold paint. I'm mixing it up, hoping that I can, that there was only like one drop of red, I'm guessing. Wash your paintbrushes before you put them away, and like wash them properly. I was so upset. Thankfully, there you go. There, you can see the color it is. This is actually Shimmer's Minor 49er, which it is no longer. So glad that I ended up with an extra pot of that. So I do whip that out and use that in just a minute. This is a Lindy's Flat Fabio. It's called Flat Fabio in Tweedledee Denim or something it's called. It's a really dark blue and it matches the dark blues in this collection beautifully. And I'm just going around the outside edge of where all of my stuff is going to be, adding splatters. I did get that big one up the top there, but in the finished page it's obscured enough that it's not like, wow, there's a big blue blob of paint there. And here is my other pot of my Minor 49er. You can see I've just added water, activated that, and I'm just going to add my splatters around the same area again. And then I actually use a paper towel to dry that off. I was in a bit of a groove and didn't really want to have to stop and wait for things to dry. So I did use a paper towel to soak up the extra that was on there. There's my cut file. So there's not a lot of mixed media. It is quite subtle, but I really like how it looks. So I'm just finding the placement here, making sure I've got this where I want it. And I'm going to start sticking my photo to my moon. And then from here, so you can see I've pulled that off the background. I've added a couple of layers of chipboard, thin chipboard behind my photo. I did want my photo to sit on top of the moon. So now that's all even. And you can see I'm just going to go through and start gluing bits down. Again, I don't glue every single piece down because I know that I don't want every single piece glued down. I do glue the 2 points of the moon down, and then I go through and just glue bits and pieces down, and then I'm going back through again with the bits that are on the outside and adding some more. You can see on the right hand side there, left hand side, some more of those little bits of cardboard just for a little bit of dimension to give the page some interest. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for a title, but I knew I didn't want anything big and bold and something that was going to take over my page. So I went into my card making supplies and found these. They're actually baby girl sentiment strips from Uniquely Creative. But there were 3 that are like on the yellowish colour paper, and I thought they were going to be perfect. I'm going to use one for my title, and it's the world just got a bit cuter. That's what I'm going to use for my title. And you can see I'm not really sure where it's going to go. It's hard with the photo covered up, so I do place those off screen so that I can really get a good idea of where I want it with the photo not covered, and then come back and show you. But then the other 2 that I've got are Welcome Baby and XOXO, and I love the way they look layered down the bottom there. But I did want that to tuck in, so I just chopped the corner off, and here I am with all of those layers down. See, I've just covered up his little face again, and I like how I've got those 3 layered there. You can see I've distressed the edges of the photo layers and also of those word strips, and after I stick all my sequins down, I go back through and I lift up all of the edges that aren't stuck down just for a little bit more interest and movement and dimension. Got some more of these gold sequins that I'm gonna, as you can see, I've strategically placed, rather scattered across my page. And I'm just gonna lift those up and glue them down, make sure that I've got them where I like them, and just spread them all over my page, tuck them into the layers. And I really like the little bit of extra that that gives. And then my final touch, I think, is gold splatters. Again, with the minor 49er, and I'm just going to add that all over the flowers, and I don't mind it going onto the edges of the photo. And I think that's it. I'm going to call it done. I had so much fun creating this layout. This collection is beautiful. This cut file is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I haven't mentioned it yet, but make sure too that you head over to the Cut To You store. Gwen has got a fabulous sale on $1 digital, so you want to go over and check that out. My next video will be featuring a bunch of them. Hint, hint. So there is my completed scrapbook layout for you today, featuring a shaker pocket that does not add too much dimension to your layout. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them below. As always, I truly do appreciate you taking your time and spending it here on my channel with me. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I shall see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.